With the price of Bitcoin being down 5% today, I think it's fair to say it's basically all ogre. Never mind Ethereum being just a few percent away from all-time highs still, and Bitcoin dominance actually still continuing to be in the red, actually currently at this very second below 60% dominance. Is this the end of the bull market? Should we be panicking, squealing, and crying like a baby who just made a big mess? Or in fact, should we not be panicking? Is Bitcoin going to zero? Well, that's a great question. The answer is no, but let's absolutely dump into it. Really, to sum up exactly what's going on, it's this. PPI came in hot, significantly hot actually. This actually lowered the chances of this expected September rate cut to actually happen, meaning maybe we won't get a rate cut. There was actually a lot of people debating whether or not we would get a 50 basis point cut, let alone just a 25 basis point one. Now the question is, will we even get a 25 basis point cut, or will we get no cut? And the other reason is because we saw Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, saying that the US will not be buying Bitcoin. Is this all over, or is this an opportunity to absolutely buy some Bitcoin? At this very second, actually, this dump has brought us from about 124,000. Actually, yeah, we did put in a fresh new all-time high yesterday at about $124,550 per Bitcoin. Pretty big. And now we're at about, a little under $120,000 per Bitcoin. But exactly where we've so far bounced is right on the 21-day moving average. Remember, just about 2 weeks ago, we actually went all the way down to the 50-day moving average at about $112,000 per Bitcoin. Is it all ogre? Are we done? Are we cooked? Are we about to have to get jobs giving foot massages or tickling people's feet? Maybe. That's a possibility. But I'm actually going to talk about in this video why I do not think we're going to have to get jobs tickling people's feet. In fact, we're about to be rich. Maybe even mega rich. Okay, this is extremely big. So I personally do think, though, that this next leg up of this bull run, it makes the most sense that we're probably going to be topping out. This could play out over multiple months, though. This final wave, the final leg of this bull market, is likely to not be something that happens in a day or two, but it's something that's likely it's going to play out over multiple weeks, multiple months. Right around maybe the end of 2025, very, very beginning of 2026. But as we did see, about $100 billion was wiped out of the crypto market in just 24 hours. We did see quite a big dump, a 5% dump. Although, to be honest, 5% moves are not even big, honestly. I mean, pretty normal. Is this a buying opportunity? In my opinion, yes. And one of the reasons that I think that's likely the case is that M2 money supply mirrored with Bitcoin. Remember, this is what it looks like. Bitcoin should be minimum about $180,000 before topping out if it's going to continue following the M2 money supply. Remember, with about an 11-week lag. It lags this upward yellow line by about 11 weeks. So extremely big, extremely bullish. And what do we see? I mean, everyone was euphoric yesterday, myself included. In fact, I'm still euphoric. But now, a lot of people are crying, saying it's all over. And again, to me, I've been doing this for about 8 years. Specifically, I've been making content on crypto for about 8 years. I basically stopped letting it affect me maybe 6 months in. Now I'm 8 years in. So when I see comments of people panicking and you see it a lot actually. People like get very emotional and they'll be like, "Oh, you told us we were going up, and in fact now we're not up. You lied to us," or like when people get very emotional about things, it's always the same people. It's people that are new. It's people that are new or people that don't learn from the past. Because actually, this is a little bit. I'm gonna maybe go on a rant for like 30 seconds here. Whether it's investing or anything in life, things happen to everyone, good and bad things. And you have the opportunity to learn from the good and bad things. Very often, specifically though, the bad things are what you can learn the most from. You can be 70, 80, 90 years old and have not learned anything if you do not approach things as learning experiences and if you don't correct mistakes and try to be better. Just being old doesn't make you wise, right? Being old doesn't mean that you have learned from your experience and you've done a good job. You can be really wise at 25 years old and very not wise at 70. It's all about taking bad things that happen to you and learning from them. So if you're in this space, let's say for about the last 5 years, and these kind of dumps and this movement, this volatility does not affect you, It's likely because you have learned from you've learned how this market moves, you've learned how to regulate your emotions. And many people do learn, right? I feel like a lot of people do learn how to regulate their emotions. And the reason that newer people, especially with investing in cryptocurrency specifically because it's so volatile, newer people struggle with that just because they haven't, maybe experienced it. And it's not their fault, but over time they'll learn. But there are also people that have been in this space 4 or 5, 6 years who still get very emotional every time it dumps, just simply because they don't know how to learn from their experiences. They don't know how to learn from failures, right? Failing is very necessary to life. Failing is not a bad thing. If you fail at something, just make sure to try to learn at least one thing from that failure. And you're setting yourself up to be better the next time you fail, because you're always going to fail in life with so many things, right? Failing is not bad. You just have to make sure you're learning when you fail. And if, for example, we're down 5% on Bitcoin today, if you maybe made some mistakes or made a trade that didn't go well or something, or you're just feeling emotional, even though maybe your portfolio is down 10, 15, 20%, getting emotional about that is just not the right thing to do, because getting emotional does nothing. It solves nothing. And in fact, it makes your decision making worse in the present and in the future if you're just emotional. So just try to regulate your emotion. And this is, again, a great advice for life. It's not even just for investing. It's for everything in life. If you can learn to regulate your emotions and have good responses to things that might not go your way, then your life is going to be better. It's like a cheat code, right? Because everyone's going to fail. People fail every day at small or big things. But the important thing is to not let it destroy you mentally, and you find a way to incorporate something new and learn from it. But also, we see BlackRock has just bought about $500 million worth of ETH, while retail is panic selling. A tale as old as time. I've seen a variation of this type of headline maybe 6,000 times in the past 8 years. It's always the same story. The people that are newer and, emotionally invested in this market panic and lose. And the bigger, the whales are the institutions, the people behind the scenes that act on not emotions and act on rationale. They're always doing they tend to always be doing the opposite of what new people are doing. Why do you think that is? And we actually have seen that after years of being built up, pressure being built up, Ethereum finally looks like it's ready to go into price discovery mode. The last time it happened, it climbed, multiple hundred, about 200% in a couple of months. That would put ETH around the $10,000 mark before this year ends. We've just seen ETH break out of this, whether you see it as like a falling, broadening wedge, or it's a symmetrical triangle, depending on how you see it. You can draw it a couple other ways. Either way, ETH is like right at all-time highs. Bitcoin is right. It literally set a new all-time high yesterday. If you're emotional right now, man, there's not much I can tell you. The only thing that can help you is time. You need time in this market. Me saying stuff isn't going to help you too much. You just have to learn on your own, to be honest. Hopefully, maybe you take the advice and you like think about it rationally. But again, as I just said, this is the symmetrical triangle basically for Ethereum. Don't let a little volatility distract you from the fact that ETH's monthly chart looks like this. We have just broken out. This is big. We're also seeing BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF surges past about 90 billion. Again, the most successful ETF in the history of ETFs, and I think that's going to remain true potentially for the rest of mankind. As well, Cardano looks like it's about to repeat exactly what it did in the previous cycle, potentially targeting that $7 to $8 per Cardano or ADA token, extremely big. We also see, again, Altseason. Look at the timing of this. We see Altseason starting on these dumps of dominance. That's exactly what we're seeing now. And very similar times after the Bitcoin halvings. So really nothing new is really happening here. We're seeing Bitcoin dominance. Still, the most it's drawn down in the past 3 years, signaling where we are in the phase of this cycle. We're also seeing Ethereum clearly leading the altcoins. This is the previous all-time high back here in November and October of 2021, right underneath 5,000. Here we are, right at about 4,500 at this very second. And Bitcoin as well. The further you zoom out on this chart, this is the all-time high as well. You see this big red candle and you might be scared, but this is the highest Bitcoin has ever been. So why would you be scared? If this scares you, good luck in a bear market, because you know, when you're 50, 60% away from all-time highs, that's a lot harder to digest than the fact that we are quite literally at all-time highs right now. If you're panicking now, then you have no chance in a bear market. Okay? We're still in a bull market. You know, that could change if we dump a lot, and it will dump a lot eventually, and we will enter a bear market, most likely. But if you're panicking now, you're not going to make it. You're simply not. I mean, if Bitcoin hit a new all-time high in the last 24 hours and you're panicking, you're just not going to do well. You need to either learn immediately and adapt, or you're just done. You're absolutely cooked. And this is Bitcoin on a weekly chart as well. I mean, why do I show this? Because look how much higher we are. Right here is back in the summer of 2023, so about 2 years ago. This is where we are now, and you're panicking? Well, I'm sure most of you are not panicking, but I know there's at least one or two people, I mean, probably about 100, maybe 200 people watching this that might be panicking. Why? Get your head out of your butt. Like, come on, man. It's embarrassing. What do we see here as well? This is the entire, the S&P 500. We're sitting at all-time highs. If you're scared and bearish here, man, there's nothing I can do for you. There's really nothing I can do. But not only am I not scared and bearish, I'm extremely bullish. And, you know, let's say, for example, right now, Bitcoin is it's a little under 120,000. Let's say next week we're at 135,000. You're going to be looking back to today and probably thinking, oh, I shouldn't have been panicking. Absolutely easy peasy. Get signed up with Femex, BYBIT, or BITUNIX below if you know why Bitcoin altcoins are trade. Without further ado,